All right, well, hello and welcome to another video. This one's going to be a slight step away from the Odyssey as such I've been talking about recently, and I'm going to be talking on this video about probably one of the first things you need to do as an actor if you're going to put yourself out there is headshots. Now, for my fellow gamers out there, that does not mean a one tap to the head with a 50 cal. Okay, what we're talking about here is the pictures, what you're going to put across to casting directors and such. Now, one of the things to talk about really is pro versus self-taken. And I'll say almost outright, categorically, if you can and have the ability to go pro, absolutely do. Because their expertise and knowledge of photography and such will be, you know, something hard to achieve on your own, or unless you are indeed your own photographer and you know what you're doing. One person I would recommend, and I'll show some pictures for you guys, is Tony Blake. I've been to him twice before. He's a top guy. Always makes you feel at ease. Takes tons of different pictures and styles and such for you, and relatively fair priced as well. In fact, not even relatively, I'd say just fair, you know, he's at fair price. So definitely worth checking out and doing your homework on others. You know, others are available, of course. Now, if you're in a position where you can't afford to, you know, go with a professional, can you take them yourself? Absolutely. And as long as you've got a smartphone, I hear people. Let's move in. And recording again. Just had to move out the path there for some bikers. Now, can you take pictures yourself? Absolutely. If you don't have the ability to get to a professional, if you don't have the finances, etc., then as long as you have a smartphone, you can absolutely take pictures yourself. And the kind of cool thing about modern smartphones now is that they take a lot of the guesswork, you know, out of it for you, and produce pretty decent pictures. Again, if I haven't already, I'll show you some pictures that I took recently, which were self-shot with no extra filter added. Now, there's a few things you want to look out for when you're doing headshots. How close do you need to be? Well, this is no good. Out here, I'd imagine it's probably too far and showing too much of my body. What you're kind of looking for is just about top of your chest here to about there, just above the head, if that's picking it up. Yeah, with that in mind, you want to be, a pro tip I picked up rather recently is keep your face square to the camera. This projects strength, and you know, something that was told to me recently, and the more I think about it, it's very true. If you want to say maybe play, I don't know, a tough man or a hard character, you know, and you're trying to make yourself look tough, like, you know, you're looking at an angle and stuff like that, it shows supposedly weakness because you're trying to project strength rather than showing strength, you know, which makes sense. Things you're going to have to think about, whether you're, well, since we're outdoors here, we'll talk about being outdoor. This would actually be a good spot. Let me slightly backtrack, because if you're outdoors and you're taking pictures, What you want is the sun facing you. Maybe not so as strong as that is. You're kind of looking for the golden hour, which might be an hour or two in the morning after sunrise or before sunset, where the sun isn't too high, because it kind of blows things out a little bit. But with this, you want to be well lit. Maybe we can try a slightly different angle, have a shadow cast across probably this side of the face. What you don't want is to be backlit with the sun directly behind. This is just going to blow out the image completely, and it'll be no good for you. If you're indoors, you want like a plain background, a plain wall, maybe, you know, plain white wall, maybe slightly off grey.
Black?
No, black is a little too strong. You might go for like a light blue, and try and face yourself towards a window, so where the light is coming in. And you can even, of course, get yourself a ring light or some other types of spotlights with, you know, the diffusers. Depends on your budget. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff you're looking out for. You can even be as bare minimum as using, say, like a bed sheet or a really old piece of material. In fact, I've done that myself. You might see on some of my videos. I literally, it's the cover behind me is just a long piece of material, which I've got hooked up to the curtain rail, and you know, it works enough to do the job as needed. Now, different moods. You know, you can go through all your different moods. You can go through, you know, your happy guy, your good guy to bad guy. You want to consider these things when you're doing your headshots. You'll also want to consider different outfits. I mean, let's think about it. If you're dressed up as, I don't know, a roadman, but you're acting all loving and caring, or that's the expression, it will look a little bit odd. Yeah, very contradicting. Now, that's not to say, you know, we should, you know, don't stereotype or whatever, but to a degree, that is exactly what we do. You need to play to a certain kind of stereotype, if you like. Even though I know you know, we're told stories teachers don't judge a book by its cover. To a vast degree, when you're getting into the acting industry, it's going to be about a casting type. Casting directors are going to take a look at you, and they're going to see an image of what role you would play well. And they'll make this up within the first few seconds of seeing you. So playing to your casting type, you know, will suit you well. So, I don't know, maybe you are built like a brick, you know, house, and maybe you look a little bit tough. Play to those extremes, or to those, or play to those strengths. You could play to the same strengths equally if you have a caring, loving face, you know, kind of thing. So definitely bear that in mind when doing your headshots. You know, these things are going to matter. We've got another biker coming, so I'll just move to the side a moment. There we go. Yeah, so portrait versus landscape. Landscape, I've never really done. People used to do it a while back, like with black and white photos as well, because it set a whole different vibe. You know, those kind of things are a thing of the past for the most part. You're going to be looking definitely portrait is what you'll want. Okay, what other points have I got?
Equipment, framing, your placement, positioning.
So yes, talking about positioning, framing, etc. I think I've touched across most of that already. Make sure you're square to the camera. You can do a slight body angle, as long as your face and your head is still pointing, you know, at the camera. Equipment wise, we've talked about that, I think. I mean, you can absolutely go with a really fancy piece of equipment if you want to. Go for it. Is it 100% necessary? No, your smartphones will do the job. This isn't the same path, by the way.
Is it not?
Nope.
Ah.
We need to move somewhat slightly over that way. I think I'm all the way the other side of this field here.
Right.
So we'll just keep moving. Yeah, I think, can I? Yeah, if you show me this. Actually, no, this is that tree, isn't it? No, we are on the same path. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Yep, because I took some B-roll of that. Yeah, so we've talked about all of those now. Setup, etc. Tripod. If you can get yourself your hands on a, you know, a decent tripod, doesn't have to be expensive. I've got one that cost, I think, just a little shy of 40 quid. It's of a decent quality. Stands about 5.5 foot high. And by the time I've put my gimbal on it and stuff like that, it's head height. So that's perfect for me.
I'm motorbike sounds annoying.
Yeah, I think that's actually then. I think that covers it. Yeah, I think that covers it for this video. So thanks again for jumping on today and spending some time with us. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you drop a thumbs up, like, follow, sub, all that good jazz. Have a go yourself taking some pictures, have a play, you know. Oh, quick point, I just realized, if you're being outdoors, make sure you use some kind of plainish background. You could use maybe the wall of a building, you know, something neutral coloured. Or indeed, if you use something like, and you're out and about like I am now in the trees, you can actually blur that out to a degree, which I'll show a picture for that. And it looks pretty good, I think, to be fair, as long as the focus is on your face. So yeah, now we'll jump back to the likes and follows. We did that. Yeah, so have a go yourself, take some pictures. I'd say drop them in the comments, but you really can't on YT, on the old YouTuber, but you can on Facebook. So make sure you definitely jump on that page and drop a follow and share your thoughts and opinions. And with that, we'll see you soon.